Our first stop on our honeymoon was Munich, Germany for Oktoberfest, but before we took in all the festivities of Oktoberfest, we wanted to check out Munich and, take a tour of the city, get some of the history. This is us getting off the train for the first time here in Marienplatz, which is like the city square, and this is the city hall, which is a beautiful building. We walked around for a little while and happened to stumble onto the Oktoberfest Parade, which we had no idea was happening. But here it is, the first Sunday of Oktoberfest. They have a parade, and it was pretty cool. It was a pretty long parade, so we didn't stick around for the whole thing. But we did want to check out at least a couple of the breweries that came around. Our favorite one is Polliner. We've had this beer before back home in Texas, so we wanted to hit up this tent in Oktoberfest, but we'll see how that goes. So we got pretty tired walking around, so we had to have some schnitzel, the traditional German food. And then we took a tour of the city, which this guy was awesome teaching us about Germany.
This was built on the 1400s
and Munich
as a memorial for the guy that basically discovered and built up Munich for the very first time in history. Okay, it is called the Löwenturm. This means the Lion's Tower, and it's named after the guy that discovered this area, pretty much. His name in German.
So he took us all around the city for 2.5 hours. We learned a lot. This place is actually where one of the biggest Nazi rallies was held. This is where we ended. He emphasized quite a bit that Germany was, ashamed or embarrassed of the whole history there. But he did teach us a lot, and it was pretty. So then we head over to the Eisbach, which is in the English Garden, to check out the surfing. This is like extremely popular, and we had to check it out. It was really cool. These dudes were professionals. They knew what they were doing. This guy could probably surf all day, but eventually they just kind of fall off their board and let the next surfer jump on the wave. And, of course, had to get some bratwurst and sauerkraut. Just a regular Monday morning walking to Oktoberfest in Munich.
Guten Morgen.
Hey! Oh boy, here we go. This is about 10:30 in the morning. It is absolutely jam-packed on a Monday. We had no idea what we were getting into. I mean, absolutely no clue. But we were happy to be there. So we pretty much walked into the first tent that we saw. We wanted to go into Spatenbrau, so we saw it and we were like, let's go. We were thinking, kind of worried that we weren't going to get a table because we heard so many, that every table is reserved and you really need to reserve a table with a group in order to get served and all this. So we made sure to get there very early, but as soon as we walked in, we were like, oh my, it's already packed. As you can see, it didn't take too long for us to start having a really good time. We had every intention of drinking as much water as we did beer, but we didn't realize that they charged as much for water as they do beer, so that plan got nixed. The beers are pretty stout, and they're very large, so they hit you quick. We met some new friends from Australia, mostly Australia, believe it or not. Didn't really meet anyone from Germany or anywhere else, just Australia.
5 hours into Oktoberfest. How you feeling, babe?
Guten?
Guten? Yeah, probably not so much. Whew, it's kind of cold. Are you cold?
So cold!
So yeah, that was probably about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and clearly not sober. So Kelly definitely needed something to eat, and took her quite a while to find the money in her purse, but she did eventually find that. I think that guy was kind of annoyed, but hey, it's part of it. This is closer to about 7 or 8 p.m. This is the last video before my phone died, before Kelly's phone died, before we got lost. We lost each other and somehow ended up back at our place, all safe and sound. The next day, we had to check out of our room, which probably wasn't the most ideal planning, being the most hungover we ever have been in a cold foreign country. So we had to find a park to kind of rest up, and just so happened they were plowing the cornfields as we were resting, which is great. And there we are, on the train to Amsterdam.